What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is day 78 of the ALPAT. I thank you for being here. I thank you for listening. As always, I had watch early in the day. After lunch, I had a medical consult. I'm getting my shoulder looked at. I've been experiencing shoulder pain in my right shoulder for quite a while. I have tried to do self-treatment. I've tried to change a lot of my habits, but that has not been working. So I'm going to get referred out once we get back home. Most likely I will have to have an MRI. Interesting story about me. I do not like MRI tubes. MRI tubes are quite effective at diagnosing claustrophobia. I have a friend of mine who is an orthopedic surgeon, and I told him I got a MRI done on my shoulder, and that basically the first time I tried to get one done, they got me about halfway in the tube and they had to take me out because I just wasn't having it. And his response was, yeah, that's about right. MRIs are not incredibly effective at diagnosing MRIs are not incredibly effective at diagnosing shoulder injuries. They are, however, 100% effective at diagnosing claustrophobia. And yes, that is true. So I have to go to a stand-up MRI. That is something that they had in New York that I was able to go to. And I really hope they have one here in the Bay because I would like to get my shoulder looked at again. After that, we had a suicide awareness stand down. That was something that was directed from the Commandant of the Coast Guard that essentially all units have to stop work. And we have presentations and trainings on risk factors for suicide, how people may act if they are considering suicide, what to do if individuals are contemplating that, what resources are out there, both so that we know and so that anyone could potentially self-refer. I have to be careful with some of the stuff that I say because I do understand this is Coast Guard policy. One thing that always stands out to me about these suicide awareness trainings is that we constantly talk about resources for people who are feeling suicidal. However, we offer, in my opinion, no conversation or no discussion about what the root causes are that lead them there. We talk about the many resources that are available for people who are feeling that, but there is never any talk of the high operational tempo of the work that we do. There is not talk about the oftentimes, how to phrase this, subpar coworkers, if you will. The fact that oftentimes you have to work with people who are just not great people. And if your leadership does not take effective action on that, then that could lead someone to become suicidal. We also didn't talk about the volume of work that is expected of us in times when there are increasingly fewer people in the service. The workload doesn't decrease, but the number of people we have doing the work stays the same. And if there's no light at the end of the tunnel, then what are people left with? And so I wish we would take more time to look at the root causes of what is going on. After the suicide stand down, I went to the gym. I did some squats. I thought I was doing lightweight. Apparently it was not as light as I thought because I started feeling some tendon pain in my knee. So I will have to keep an eye on that. But I am trying to get back in shape as best I can. Dinner was fish, and it was actually quite well seasoned and well cooked. I really enjoyed it. With that, that wraps it up for day 78. I thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.